prepared for hacks, guys. My name is HaydenMadeEm, and welcome to my top 10 Pokemon of all time. This will be a list based off of the top 10 most well-known Pokemon. I will be doing a list of the top 10 most competitive Pokemon in the future. If you don't want to miss out on that, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for it. Coming in at number 10, we have Saitek. Saitek is most well known throughout the anime as Misty's trusty companion. However, Saitek was not originally Misty's. It was actually Brock's. After some local Pokemon were tormented by the psychic waves of a Hypno, and then later nullified by a Drowsy, Saitek was the only Pokemon to never fully recover. Brock then promised a Nurse Joy that was looking after it that he would take care of the Saitek to impress her. Later, Misty accidentally dropped a Pokeball. It ended up rolling towards Saitek, who then tapped the ball twice with his bill and essentially captured itself. Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff. I'm sure everyone remembers this pink nightmare. Jigglypuff's first anime appearance was in episode 45, The Song of Jigglypuff. At first, Misty had wanted to capture Jigglypuff. However, she later changed her mind when she found out that Jigglypuff couldn't sing. After Ash and the gang thwarted Team Rocket's plan to capture Jigglypuff, Brock gave it a piece of fruit to soothe its throat. Now that it was able to sing again, it performed for them, of course, putting everyone to sleep. After waking up, they saw Jigglypuff wasn't happy. They promised to find someone that could listen to Puff's song without falling asleep. I'm sure everyone can recall this behemoth of a Pokemon. Snorlax's appearance was fairly short-lived in the anime. Ash caught a Snorlax in the episode Snack Attack, where Snorlax was eating grapefruits on Grapefruit Island. Ash managed to capture it near the end of the episode. However, after the Orange Islands, the Snorlax spent most of its time in Oak's lab. Although it didn't have a huge presence in the anime, Snorlax is most well known for blocking your way in the earlier Pokemon games. You had to find and use the Pokeflute to awaken it, and then you had the choice of capturing it or defeating it. Mew. One of the most elusive Pokemon to date. Although Mew has never seen an anime TV episode appearance, it has been in a few movies, the most prevalent one being in the first Pokemon movie, Pokemon the First Movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. Mew is seen throughout the movie and is even in battle with Mewtwo towards the end. Even in the games, Mew has been one of the hardest Pokemon to ever find. Today, getting Mew is quite easy. However, it wasn't until about Generation 3 where you could even attempt to get Mew without hacking the game in some way. Mew was distributed to Toys R Us stores to celebrate the release of the 8th movie, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. Dragonite was first shown in the anime episode Mystery at the Lighthouse. Kind of. We see a giant Pokemon that certainly looks like Dragonite, however is completely blacked out, so we're not 100% sure. Dragonite's first true appearance was in Mewtwo Strikes Back, when Dragonite delivered an invitation to Ash. This here, I do say, is a splashing Pokemon. I'm sure everyone remembers this Pokemon. It's infamously known in the video games to do nothing but splash. It was first shown in the anime Battle Aboard the St. Anne, where James buys it from a Magikarp salesman. It evolves into a Gyarados in the next episode, leaving James in the process. One of the original trio. Bulbasaur has seen its fair share of popularity throughout the history of Pokemon. Bulbasaur was first seen in the video games and was first shown in the anime in the episode Bulbasaur and the Hidden Village. At first, Bulbasaur was wary of Ash, but they eventually started to become friends. Bulbasaur later challenged Ash to a battle. Ash won with his trusty Pikachu, and Bulbasaur was a part of the party until Bulbasaur, the Ambassador. Mewtwo. Arguably one of the most well-known Pokemon, Mewtwo was the last Pokemon you could catch in Generation 1. You walk right past him on your way to Cerulean City, however you can't enter the cave until you beat the Elite Four. Mewtwo, being a Psychic type, was definitely the strongest Pokemon of Gen 1. Psychic types only had weakness to Bug types. Ghost type moves were unable to hit Psychic types at the time, and there were very few good Bug type Pokemon in Gen 1. Let's not even talk about the lack of Dark types in Gen 1. Mewtwo's first appearance was actually in episode 63 of the anime before he appeared in Pokemon the First Movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. However, he was wearing his battle armor and was only briefly seen. Almost every Gen 1er's favorite Pokemon. Charizard clocks in at number 2. Charizard, being on the cover of one of the first Pokemon games, is easily recognizable by most people. Charizard, eventually evolving from Charmander to Charmeleon and then to Charizard, was soon to be a favorite by almost everyone that picked him. He was very strong and had a decent move pool for his time, but let's not talk about HMO2. Charizard's first anime appearance was in Attack of the Prehistoric Pokemon, where it evolved from Charmeleon because it was upset that it could not beat the Aerodactyl. However, I'm sure we'll never forget the disobedience that Charmeleon and Charizard showed Ash, which left us some very funny moments in the anime. Now, I know what you're thinking. But Pikachu is known to everyone that has ever even heard of Pokemon. It's the mascot, the number one, numero uno. Pikachu is Ash's first Pokemon, traveling with Ash ever since episode 1 of the anime and has been in every episode since then and has not stopped being a fan favorite. Pikachu has seen some changes throughout the years, namely losing some weight. However, the overall basic design has remained the same, and even someone that hasn't seen Pokemon since Generation 1 could still point him out to you. In Pokemon Yellow, you were actually able to have a Pikachu follow you around, which helped make the game feel more like you were Ash, which had a Pikachu that refused to stay inside its Pokeball. Well guys, that's it for my top 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure to click that like button. It really does help me out, guys. And if you're new and you don't want to miss any more of these top 10s, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more in the future. Anyways guys, this has been HaydenMadeEm, and we'll see you next time. May the hacks be with you. Peace out.